Hood facts.
Anti-white activists, they're always married to a white person. Who's that Somalian up in Minnesota? Her, AOC, Kamala Harris, radicalized in the streets, colonized in the sheets.
I ain't confused. I ain't on that shit. That nigga tried to kill me for real. I just fucking got out of that shit. I've been missing for almost like 2 years. I didn't even know where the fuck I was at. I do not fuck with LeBron James. That nigga's a trafficker, my nigga. That nigga is a trafficker. He is a fucking trafficker. He trafficked women in real time. That nigga stole all my money out of my bank account.
Just so the world knows, this is not the black man's woman. These women belong to the white man.
And every other race of man. You'll see what I mean coming up next. Stay tuned, trust me.
It ain't no woke.
And what?
New at 5 tonight, it's a story that shocked the nation. 3 players on Duke University's lacrosse team falsely accused of rape by an exotic dancer. Now, nearly 2 decades later, the woman at the center of it admits she made the whole thing up.
Okay? And then on top of that, I don't know what it is. A lot of you Negroes don't want to go to the psychologist, and talk this stuff out.
Former exotic dancer Crystal Mangum appeared on a podcast this week, admitting that she falsely accused David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman of raping her back in 2006. This is the first time she has publicly stated she lied. Investigators say at the time Mangum's story was inconsistent. Eventually, then Attorney General Roy Cooper declared the players innocent, saying there was no credible evidence against them. Mangum is currently serving time in prison after she was convicted of killing her then boyfriend in 2011.
We queens. We're supposed to be treated like that.
Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joins us now. Khalif, just so many things to discuss here. I mean, this is just crazy. But the players sued Duke University for how it handled the case. It was settled, but does this give them any sort of legal leeway here or grounds to file yet another lawsuit?
I think it would have helped something. But now their settlement was based on their rush to judgment. They're quick to convict. They're quick to move because everyone's trying to cover their bases, but at the same time not following the facts. So then you sue and say, look, if you would have done this a proper investigation, these guys' name would have never got thrown through the mud. They would have never had been placed in this situation.
Well, and that's the real damage, right? Because you can't search their names without this coming up, even though it was all dropped. What about Mangum herself? Does she face any other charges for lying and now admitting that she lied?
I mean, the time frame for a claim against making false police reports, or that's probably the worst claim that she could have, charge that she could have.
Is there like a statute of limitations?
Yeah, statute of limitations has passed on that. I mean, and Governor Cooper said it best at the time, these folks should have never even been charged.
Right.
Not just, vindicated, not just having the charges dropped. There's sometimes when you look at the facts and you step back and you give, have a third-party approach, and you're like, well, wow, how did this even get here?
All righty, thank you very much for that. This was something that was shocking at the time, obviously. It was this accusation, Harris, of this mass rape, and now part of her explanation was that she did it because she wanted to feel validated.
If that isn't a maggot swirler for you.
And this goes back to the idea of victimhood, the romanticization of victimhood, that you mean something if you have been attacked or have had a hate crime committed against you. And that's why she did it. She was, in prison for the 2013 murder of her boyfriend, whom she stabbed. He died 10 days later. A sentence of 13, I think, to 18 years for that. Is this what do you think makes her come back 20 years to admit what we all felt we knew, which that it was not true?
Well, why this moment? Like, I understand she's in prison for murder, and I understand that a lot of prisoners who are behind bars find faith and so on and so forth. But she's known all along that she ruined the lives of 3 human beings, young men at the beginnings of their dreams. How do you live with that every day if, in fact, you have a conscience that guides you to apologize to the world, and it's going to end up beyond that podcast all over the place? I mean, I still think she's self-serving. I don't know what else to think about her. She hasn't convinced anybody. She could have told anyone, look, I made it up. I'm not strong enough to say it. but I don't want those young men to go to prison. She's 48 years old. That could have dawned on her a decade ago. That could have dawned on her 2 decades ago, but it didn't. So I'm left with not really believing her. I just know that she lies. She's telling me she lies. How do I know she's honest now?
You can't reason with unreasonable, though. You have to remember, she actually tried to kill all of her children before she even killed her boyfriend. I mean, she lit the house on fire with her 3 children in it. So you can't reason with unreasonable. You can't try to get in the mind of someone who's not entirely there, whether it's mental health or not. But the fact that she's coming forth now, that's great. But she has caused so much harm to so many people.
You know, Ian, she wrote a self-published book where she refused to say that it was not true, that she wouldn't take back anything she said. And at the same time, we have...
Well, look at here. What do we have here? Harris Faulkner, the old sister, not believing all women. You know what I mean? But you're right, though. But could it be that because she's married to a white man, so she don't like that because it make her look bad because she's also a swirler herself. You know what I'm saying? Her husband white. So she like, this make me look bad. She gotta get on the so-called sister. You know how that go. Probably be singing a different tune if they was both, if she was married to a black one. But yeah, you brothers see that, man. It's a disgrace. This woman wanted to be validated by the Snow King. She wanted to be validated by the white man. She wanted them to want her. I want you to want me. So the maggot said, y'all don't? All right, I'm sending all y'all boys to Hades. It's either hell or jail. That's what it was. Ain't that about it, then? But they love her so much, you know, they so loyal. And the reason why they did outside their race like this, because there's way more black women that's qualified than it is black men. So they have to go out to find other races of men. Says the most obese and the most evicted is the most qualified. Bad attitudes all around. The bitch go to any other country, she have a hard time getting a date because they ain't see her like that. But let her tell it, she's overly qualified, too much for us, so she gotta check out. But we need to stay there because it's more of them than it is of us. Well, you think that's with all the women. There's more women than it is men. Fool. But I mean, that's how you know the thing just be saying. The thing just talk. Well, I call a thing too. But yeah, you heard them say the woman put down the black man, put him down. I mean, from what we understand, allegedly, I guess she gashed that boy with a blade, you know, like her name was Snipes. Put that boy down. And then tried to burn the house down with all her kids in it. Black, of course. If they was mixed, she probably would have kept them alive. You know, they love to play in that house. So she wouldn't have been able to bear to do that. So I guess she trying to clean her face, you know. I believe she did her time. She doing the time, she did her time. I guess she's trying to clean her face card for the divestment hood. She said they was my brothers. To my brothers. Those are her brothers. Her brothers. But you try to clean them face with the white men, ain't it? She, you know, the sisterhood probably done wrote in her letters like, this is gonna make us look bad. You gotta try to apologize, sister. You gotta say something. We've been here with them for over 500 to 600 years and still trying to get our numbers up. But other race of women, they don't even have to chase them. They chase the other race of women. But we still trying to get our numbers up with them because they is so great and they pay for everything. Oh man, but they so loyal. They love the black man and they've been the most down with him other than any other race of woman. I mean, you just gotta laugh to keep from crying. But that's it, man. I ain't gonna talk your head off about it. You heard it. You heard how disgraceful it is, you know. And what about the one that wanted to blame LeBron? I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. If I was LeBron and she lying, I'll sue her for the do-rag on her head. And the no ring in a vagina if she got one. And that's real though. You know what I mean? But that's what you can depend on these people, bro. You don't, black man, I'm telling you, you don't have a woman, bro. If you think you do, good luck to you. 92% of those things voted Kamala. Just imagine how higher the number is for the ones that are against you and divested. You know what I'm saying? That's almost 100%. Think about that. Of a party that has never been for the black family or the black man. Matter of fact, rail against them. She's the backbone of it. Yeah. You call that MAGA our sisters? Who? I wish I had one. But anyway, I ain't gonna talk your head off. You saw it. You saw the visuals. You heard the verdict. This is Hood Facts.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.